Alrighty, what's up, y'all? So it is quite early upon this day on Saturday here, and I am on my way to Wolverine Harley Davidson, Wolverine HD 21 in Gratiot if you're around the Metro Detroit area and Clinton Township. And it's not what you think. I'm definitely not going to be a Harley boy. Not switching over to the cruiser life just yet, and if I do, probably won't be a Harley. I'm just going to say that right now. What I am doing is attending an advanced rider course. So I, as a motorcycle safety rep for my wing, not even a unit anymore, kind of a big deal, got moved up to the wing. If you don't know what that means, it means I'm in the Air Force. Rank structure is, the wing, squadron, unit. So I'm kind of like, a smidge up at the top for the motorcycle safety representative position. And it would be remiss, nay, irresponsible of me not to take further education and training courses and then tell my folks to educate and train themselves or be educated and trained. And also it was free, so can't pass that up, but it's still a good opportunity to get some extra learning in. If you're around the channel this time last year, I will post a video right about I took the ride like a pro course, and I touted that it was probably one of the best courses I've ever taken. I've only taken about 3 or 4. I can't remember all of them in order, but that course was amazing. I enjoyed it. It was about 4 hours and some change of just range riding, and it turned out pretty well, I think. I think the video turned out well. The learning experience was great, and I just want to see what these guys have to offer. Like I said, the course was free. The military, the wing, had paid for quite a few slots, and they had enough left over to where I could get an invite and partake. So I'm going to take some notes, get some lessons learned, probably hone some skills if possible. I will try to do a comparison between classes, try to get some B-roll. I'm not sure how these guys are about filming and all that such, but I want to pay more attention to the course and get more out of the course than material for a video, if you get what I'm saying. Yeah, so as usual, I don't know how this video is going to be structured. Might just be a recap at the end, might be some B-roll in the middle, but I got to focus and get on the road and get to where my destination is so I can learn how to motorcycle better. And I will catch you guys after the fade. Alrighty, welcome back, y'all. So in between the fade and right now, hold on, might have to shut the face off for this one. Bike's a little loud today. I enjoyed a quite extensive, quite awesome advanced riders course given by Wolverine Harley Davidson. I misspoke earlier. It was not 21 in Gratiot. It is Hall Road in Gratiot. It's a very big distinction. It's about a mile apart, and you might lose the place if you go looking for it. Anywho, I had 3-ish instructors. I had one instructor that was part of the class. She joined the class to just be audited and take the course because she has to take it in herself. Had the one guy that was doing most of the demonstrations, and we had the main instructor who was giving most of the lessons. The instructors were Jerry, Sherry, and Tyler. It would be super cute if Jerry and Sherry were married, but they are not, so it ain't. First off, the beginning of the class started with a little bit of actual inside classroom discussion. We were given workbooks. We were given opportunities to answer a set of questions that was given to us by Jerry. You walk in, you sign in, he gives you your pamphlet and your workbook. You fill out all the legal stuff, you sign, you dot the T's and cross the I's, and then you turn that in, and then motorcycle. He gave me, I think, questions 1 and 2 on page 11 of the pamphlet. I was supposed to give my interpretation of those questions. You do an introduction, you go around the room, you tell who you are. It's a couple military folks, a couple guys who have been riding for 10 years, a couple guys who have been riding for 20 years, a couple guys who look like they've been riding for 5 ever, but they've only been riding for 5 years, which is crazy. When you go to courses like this, it actually gives you an opportunity to kind of dispel some of the rumors and some of the inaccuracies regarding the motorcycle community. And this goes a lot for the folks that ride and drive cars as well. Shit, about to die. Situational awareness for your ass. You think things about motorcycles, right? Just because they look a certain way, they appear a certain way, you have a set of biases or prejudices, if you will, in your head. And I'm like, man, these old dudes probably been riding forever. This dude was maybe mid-ish to late 50s, only been riding for 5 or so years. I thought he just looked like a guy to me that's just been riding forever. He had a big old Harley, and you just learned a lot about each other in the beginning of the course, and you see what people's perspectives are, and it's pretty awesome. Speaking of which, the perspectives of some people, again, dispelling the inaccuracies. You think, you know, a younger dude would be much more adventurous, much more, hey, I know this technique, I've heard of it before. There were a lot of things that both the younger and the older people never even heard of, never even talked about, never even experienced it on the road. I feel like, to me, it's like they get on their bike, they ride in a straight line, and they get off their bike, and it was just by the grace of whatever deity they believe in, that they got back home. Some people don't lean, some people don't counter steer, some people don't use body position at all, some people there was a lot of don't touch the front brake coming from the class, and there was a lot of you can absolutely use the front brake coming from the instructors. And these are much older folks that were in the class saying some of these things. Now, not being judgmental, this is the reason we go to the course, right? To get informed by people who do this every single day and who are out there teaching us. There's more than one way to skin a cat, if you will, which I would never do because it's gross. I don't eat cat. I mean, not the four-legged kind. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so you get out to the course and you hear these answers and you give your input, and we were all allowed to make some rebuttals of, hey, this is why I feel this way, this is why I don't, and it turned out to be pretty good. Now we got onto the range. Tyler did a lot of the demonstrations, which I've now figured out how I'm going to break this video down, or these videos, if you will. I'm not going to put any of the training in this particular video. I'm going to break them up into a series, one, so that I got material to put on my YouTube channel, of course, and two, so you can watch them and make my views go up, of course, and three, because each one has a segment with the demonstration, with myself participating, and I just don't, this video would be ridiculously long, and I got a lot of footage to go through, and my camera's died. Actually knocked the freaking door off my Insta360, which that'll get me on a whole nother rant. I never pay attention to that thing, and it's $25 to get a new one. And even though I'm an Insta360 ambassador, I ain't. But she's just gonna be naked on the side for a little while till I, whatever. So I got a lot of footage to go through. I will make them into YouTube shorts or riding 360, or I might do a combination of all three, like an edited video where I am pointing out where I'm going. A 360 video where you, the viewer, can look at the video and enjoy it at your leisure on various angles, and or a short where I just take a couple seconds of the video and make it into a segment to where you can enjoy that as well. Comparison. Now, let me get to the comparison between this course and, I know the comparison was loud as hell. I don't know why I yelled it that loud. The Ride Like a Pro course. I would say this course is maybe a 5.5. Beginner's course is a 1, 2. You're getting out there. The advanced course, or the returning rider course I took back in hot face 2013, what I would say that would be about 2 or 3. This will be a 5, 5.5, and the Ride Like a Pro course was about a 6, 6.5. Now, granted, my skill level, personal judgment here, is about a 7. So for me, that was almost like a 10. Like if you comparatively, hey, if my skill level's maxed out at 7, that course was 6.5. I still had some in the tank, but that Ride Like a Pro course did push me. This course gave very similar techniques, very similar setups, but we had a couple different drills, and funnily enough, we used the exact same range because they are almost right behind each other. They used the same church parking lot. It's a massive parking lot, and it was pretty good. This course was not as challenging for me as the Ride Like a Pro course was. The Ride Like a Pro course was very, very technical. Slow, clutch, brake, front, rear. This one did that. They talked a little bit more about body position in this course. They talked a little bit more about trail braking. We actually had trail braking exercises to perform, which was pretty cool because one of the younger guys never heard of it. And I've been doing it for quite a long time now, a couple years. I'm trying to get better at it every day, every time I ride. Between the use of the clutch, the friction zone, trail braking, the front and the rear. We did a lot of low-speed maneuvers. We did a lot of circles. We did a lot of right turns. We did a lot of swerving. We did some threshold braking, which was the same thing I did at the Ride Like a Pro course. We ended up getting rained on. The course, I thought about it at first. I was like, man, they could have cleaned this course up a little bit. It was a couple little sand patches out there. One of the big Harley boys dropped his bike. Actually, 2 people dropped his bike. There was the large blue-black type Harley. I believe it was a street glide. And there was a yellow. I don't even like yellow, but damn, this bike looked good. I think it was a road glide. No, he came around, sudden stop, and he didn't slip on the freaking gravel itself or the sand itself. He put his foot down, and his foot slipped out, and the bike just tipped over. It sucked either way. It's not funny, but his bike didn't get damaged. And man, that was a very, and that bike looked awesome. Speaking of looking awesome, listen here. I'm not into yellow, right? I found out after looking at it for a minute that yellow looked good on that bike. I'm not very into, like, I guess I am now, but older ladies. Listen here, Sherry. No disrespect to Mr. Sherry, he was in the class as well. But listen, if I had a card, I'd have wrote the business on it and I'd have handed it to her, because I would have most indubitably given Sherry the business. I didn't realize watching a 100-pound woman whip a Harley like a dirt bike or even a mountain bike was sexy. I now know I got a new thing. There's gonna be some internet searches tonight. Either way, truthfully, Sherry is very skilled. She gave us some pointers, she gave us some lessons, and yeah, she's pretty nice for her age. Pretty nice for any age, whatever. She's nice, and she is absolutely a freaking monster on a Harley. I think I got some video of her whipping that thing around, and it just goes to show you it's not about the bike, it's about the rider, it's about the skill. Yes, my bike is a little more nimble, but she was dragging floorboards by accident. She was trying not to, but she was so skilled that she couldn't turn it down. So it was one of those things where it's like, this is crazy, this is awesome. Tyler was awesome. Young man did a great job. Very young dude, very positive gentleman, really intuitive, really into the class, really responsive to everybody's questions when we needed him. Jerry, old school dude, you can tell he's been around for a while, but you can also tell he's got a lot of compassion. He's willing to hear anybody's input. He's willing to give you some feedback on your riding. He's willing to tell you where you're screwing up, and he's willing to tell you what you need to work on. Super cool. I am very weak on the right. This course did help me knock some of the cobwebs off during the winter, and I came around one of those corners. He's like, "Hey man, what was that?" I go, "Hey, I'm weak on the right," and it forces me to address an issue where I know I have a problem. I kind of avoid it, which I shouldn't do, but overall, guarantee this was a very awesome class. It would be worth it for anyone to take, especially if you're coming back from a hiatus of not riding, or if you've not taken a course since you've taken the basic rider course, and not just Wolverine Harley. Take any course. I really got into the low speed, slow speed, maneuver, bike control stuff in the last few years. And if you want to check out something awesome, like I said, this course was maybe a 5.5, Ride Like a Pro was like a 6.5. You want to check out some 8s to 10s, check out my dude Nova Slow Speed. I will put a link to his channel down below if you haven't checked him out already, which most of my viewers I think have. The dude and the stuff he puts on his channel, those boys will wreck you in slow speed stuff. If you go up against them, you better have your A plus, and maybe your S rank game on tilt. Those dudes are insane. I got a lot of respect for those guys, and not saying I want to be that, but I definitely want to have the skills to maneuver my bike confidently. And when confidence rises, skill rises, or when skill rises, confidence rises. Excuse me. I just don't want to be that guy. You know, I've been riding for 11 years-ish now, and to not progress and to be riding like a 2-year rider is just not something I want as a life goal, right? And I don't want that for any of you guys. I want you guys to get your skills up. It doesn't have to be a course. Just courses are more formal. They're more interactive. You get more input. You get some friends. You make some good friends. You meet people that you normally probably wouldn't hang out with, and you learn that you're not the only one that needs to get their skills up, right? Don't go in there feeling embarrassed. Don't go in there thinking that you're going to be the only one in class that's got issues, because I can tell you now, I've dropped my bike before, not in a class, but I've dropped it in a garage and I was embarrassed. Can you imagine dropping it in a class and being embarrassed and feeling like oh my God, it's the worst feeling ever? Nope. Those dudes didn't, because we were all compassionate. We all know what that feels like. We just tried our best to either help the guy get his bike up and keep going. Don't give up. So it's not what you think. You're not going to drop your bike and people are going to point at you and laugh. No. It's a very well-rounded, very helpful community, and I think I'm done yapping about it. I will post the follow-up videos, and catch you guys later.